we'll call the meeting back to order. And I have a motion moved by Bev Cutting and seconded by Don B. Marshall. Be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Grey hereby returns to open session of Council.
Excuse me.
Is that Florida music you're playing, Deputy Mayor Bill? At 7:05 p.m. And I think your clock must be slightly off, but that's what my computer says is 7:05, Mark. Any questions or comments on that motion? All in favor? Turning to open session. Any opposed? That's carried. Okay, and Mark, if you can, would it be known that only those matters that we went into closed session are the only ones discussed? Public meetings, we have none tonight. And consent agenda. I have a motion moved by Bev Cutting and seconded by Don B. Marshall. Be it resolved that items A1 to C2 inclusive contained in Part 1 consent agenda be adopted, and further that authorization be given for the actions to be taken as may be necessary to give effect to the recommendations contained therein. Is there any questions or comments on the consent motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the consent? Any opposed? I declare that carried. Yeah. There's a number of on the consent tonight, so we'll send them both each way if we can have those signed and returned. And I guess that brings us down then to communications from Mayor and Council. Do any council members have any communications that they'd like to bring forward at this point in time? Seeing none, then I do have a couple of communications I'd just like to address this evening. The first one was on Saturday. I had the opportunity to be at the Elmwood Community Center. Elmwood Community Center has gone ahead with the installation of a new sound system and a overhead projection system that they got some FCC Farm Credit Corporation funding for. Came forward, I believe it was in the amount of $10,000 to help them with that installation. Also was the rollout of their new chairs and tables were on display. So met with the Mayor of Brockton, Dave Ingalls, and myself accepted we're there on accepting the check with the chair of the Elmwood Community Center, Les Trafford. So we had a photo opportunity of that and got to able to see they were rolling quite a bit of pictures from for homecoming coming up next September long weekend, the Labor Day weekend next year for their homecoming. So they had a lot of pictures on the new screen area and whatnot, so that will be excellent for them coming forward. I would also like to thank any of those individuals that kept the Mayor of West Grey out of jail. I had, that was in the Post, aptly displayed thank you to the Post for putting that lovely photograph. Did a up at the Heritage Mall for Crime Stoppers, and I believe that overall they raised, was it in excess of $20,000, did I read? Oh, Laura, I thought you would come up with the number, and I'm not sure, but I was able to contribute to that, and very thankful for the individuals that contributed. And those that haven't paid, I'll be looking for you because I covered off all of that, so I'll be coming up on that to a few people. Had the opportunity as well on a week ago to do the Words Aloud Festival and the opening night. Again, was a fantastic evening at the Art Gallery, a fantastic weekend. We had a lot of workshops, again, put on by celebrated and poets, and the Slam Poetry Festival. Did a lot of workshops on the Friday at a couple of the high schools, and then on Saturday for individuals. Another great weekend there. The weather didn't cooperate on a Monday, November the 11th. Had the opportunity to march with the Legion members and place the wreath from the municipality at the cenotaph. And the weather was a little bit wet, would you say, Councillor Lawrence? He marched as well with the Durham girls. The dinner, of course, that evening that the Legion put on was very good and warmed us up. But congratulations and great respect for the Durham girls who marched, and for one of their members, Laurie McLean, who give a couple of solo performances as well. I'd just like to say that Councillor Lawrence and Councillor Rapke attended a meeting with MOE to give us a bit of insight on the Green Energy Act and some of those aspects, and that was a very good meeting this past Thursday, Carol, that was there. From there I went to London to the regional transit meeting. A number of individuals speaking there on municipal effects that are being caused by Via Rail taking a number of their trains that aren't running anymore, downsizing on the number of trains running in southwestern Ontario from Sarnia and Niagara through to Toronto and on through to the Montreal, St. Lawrence or the southwest southern corridor. A lot of interest, a lot of discussion around bus. Certainly the announcements from About Town and Greyhound on dropping some of their routes as well too. And a lot of it, maybe what I come away with, part of it has to do with our improved infrastructure and dependency on the car, and just that there is not that much usage of it. They don't have a business case to put into place for it, and if it is going to continue, how much either the province or the feds or the municipalities will put in to help private companies go forward with this type of transit that is needed. That was on Thursday, and on Friday this past week, the London Southwest Conference, Municipal Affairs and AMO was put on. One of the keynote speakers to open up the conference was the Mayor of Perth, a gentleman by the name of John Finnick. AMO had purchased his book. He has a book out, but it was talking about getting votes out, getting people involved in the democratic process in our municipal process. So there was for each municipality that was there. Seducing the Vote is Mr. Finnick's book. I got it. Thank you, Carol, for picking it up. I have it, and we'll put it out here for anybody that on council that wants to read it going forward on that. I didn't have the opportunity this weekend as the schedule was a little busy. Also got to see the Grey Bruce Singers on Saturday night, where I was just amazed that it's with Grey Bruce Singers, but I got looking and started counting, and out of all of those singers, it seems that over half of them are from West Grey. So they put on a very good performance and are getting ready to go forward to New York in 2 weeks. Yeah, this coming Friday, they're going to go down to New York City. I wish them luck with that, going on Black Friday into the United States to do traveling. So hope their bus driver has a lot of patience, or maybe they can have a sing-along on the bus and they get caught in traffic down there. We'll see how that is. One other thing, when I was at the conference, the Southwest Conference, the Nuclear Waste Management Ontario, or organization, not Ontario, the Nuclear Waste Management Organization had a booth there, and West Grey was getting a very good advertisement from that. Our own Councillor Marshall was at an AMO conference and visited a booth, and they've got a picture of him with his West Grey shirt on and advertising for the nuclear waste management. So, Don, your picture was up in the lights. I don't know, for how long, but we'll see that next time you're at any conference, take a look at it. Maybe you can autograph it for them or something like that. I did mention that it was strange, an individual that had some concerns with them, but they're open to conversations. That's what they said. So, okay, Councillor Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to again remind or ask Council, Jennifer Sanderson is organizing the Gala for Hope, which is to raise money for the Georgian Bay Treatment Center for Youth 14 to 22. It's being held in the Durham Arena on November the 23rd. A few of us have made donations through Kerry to help offset the cost of the arena, so I just mention it. If anyone else on council wishes to make a donation toward that, just give it to Kerry. And I just want to tell you, we again proudly carried the West Grey flag. The Durham girls marched the Owen Sound Parade, Santa Claus Parade on Saturday, and we're in Arthur on the 30th. So we proudly carry the flag.
Very good. And I don't know whether I'll make, I guess I'm making a donation. I have tickets to that gala on Saturday night, so I think there is a few still left. They are very limited, but yeah, get a hold of Jennifer and or Gwen Kloosterboer. I believe we'll be able to get some tickets if anybody is interested. And I do have one other thing that I'd like to bring up, and on our in your package tonight, you've seen that there is a declaration for a charter between the municipality of West Grey and the town of Hanover. We've been working for a number of months with the town of Hanover, and one of the things going forward on development of development lands in West Grey with Hanover, and the two mayors have got together and put together a charter, and I would like to bring it forward tonight. It has been brought forward at Hanover. I believe they're in the process of bringing it forward, and would like to have council introduce that. The charter had started out as a way for us to be in discussions in talking about the secondary plan on the use and the county official plan amendment 122, and where we were looking at that and having this charter in place. And as we developed it, it wasn't as much around that's what initiated it, but it was around the municipalities. The two municipalities of giving us a way to engage in discussions between the two corporations on developing this use. But in going forward, we thought it was wise for us to go forward with that opportunity, that we didn't have to have formal, this would be the formal way for us to talk about sharing programs, about sharing partnerships, from waste management to policing to fire to recreation, all of those things that we do. And this would give us a formal way of introducing back and forth across the borders between the two municipalities of initiating those ones. I said it was more like going forward at a dance between two individuals. You have to go through the formal process each time to ask the individual to dance. If you show up and you have a willing partner, you may be able to say, well, no, I'm stepping away from this song, but it gets away from that formality each time of having to introduce the two partners and being able to dance. And this allows us to be able to step forward on an ongoing basis, to be able to engage in those conversations between the two partners. Was it certainly initiated by the conversations around the development lands? Yes, and how we're going to go forward with that, but it gives us that going forward. And I would ask that the mayor from Hanover is coming over this evening to ask for this to be signed, and would ask if we could have that going forward, a resolution here for us tonight to sign that and go forward to engage in these discussions, not only on the development lands, but certainly on an ongoing basis that the two municipalities work together for the community at large between Hanover and West Grey. So Mark has, and I've asked that that be put on, and if there's any questions on the agreement, but that's just a resolution there for us to be able to give authority to sign the paper for this evening. So is there any questions on what we're putting forward? The charter was initiated. It's very high arching. It's not specific to any one or any thing in specific, but certainly come forward from our discussions on this development lands or employment land discussions that we've had. Don, Councillor Marshall.
You brought up the scenario of going to the dance and having your partner already picked out here. Is this the first step towards the marriage of amalgamation?
No. Use that, it's not that we've introduced, and I think through the formalities that we always have to go through, do we need that a resolution, you know, to talk about this or talk about that? This is an overarching agreement that allows us to talk back and forth without having the formalities each time of having a resolution from each municipality to open those discussions, whether it's on a road use and snow removal in and around the municipalities, which we do, but this gives it some formality of having that in place on an ongoing basis for the two municipalities to work together to improve the communities at large and not individually. Any other questions? So I do have a motion here, so I'm going to introduce that. I have a motion moved by John A. Bell and seconded by Rob Thompson. Be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Grey hereby authorizes the Mayor to sign a charter document between the Municipality of West Grey and the Town of Hanover. Any other questions on the motion? Seeing none, then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? I declare that carried. Okay, here we are, Mark. Okay, and I do believe that the Mayor and a number of council members from Hanover are coming over this evening about 8:30 to sign that, and I hope that we can keep the press engaged and maybe they'll be able to give us a bit of publicity over signing that. It looks like that might be possible there, yeah. We'll wake you up when it's necessary for you to come engaged in that. All right, thank you. Any other communications from Mayor, from the councils? Bev, Councillor Cutting.
Yeah, just the West Grey Parks Committee's volunteers have put together a tree lighting that's going to happen in to the large tree in the Elmwood Park. I know it's on Brockton side, but it is West Grey that is going to put the lights up and do the lighting of the tree, and we'd like to invite all of council, and the Parks Committee would like to know if, Mr. Mayor, if you would MC the evening.
What evening?
It's November 29th, it's a Friday night at 6:30. And also, if we could get, it's sort of for their homecoming, so we'd like to invite the Mayor of Brockton and the Chamber and sort of make it a joint municipality occasion.
Starting at 6:30? All right.
And I'm going to have Eunice send out, invitations to the Chamber and the homecoming committees and everybody else like that. That's just to try to get it to be the one in Durham is always a large success, so it'd be nice to sort of start one in Elmwood. Okay?
Very good. Yep. Book me in. Speaking of that, when is the one in Durham?
I haven't heard yet, but it's usually, I would say December 6th,
Sixth.
but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, it's usually that
Oh, no, it's usually early in
first-
March, isn't it?
first Wednesday in
So
December.
it's when it's the 4th.
Be the 4th then. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Don. Any other communications updates? Certainly have a lot of activity during the Christmas season coming up. Just had one, a letter come, communications, and this is from our MPP, Bill Walker. Just wanted to say thank you to the municipal staff and the municipality for hosting his roving constituent office in our community. But seeing as there's been a lack of participation or residents coming and meeting with the MPP, and I'm not so certain that the MPP's been here a lot, but some of his staff, with lack of participation, as of November 1st, Mr. Walker's informing us that that is not going to be something that he's going to continue with, and just wanted to say thank you to Wes Gray for providing that, but in the lack of participation, he is going to withdraw that request, so we won't have our boardroom tied up with our constituent, roving constituent office. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. If there's nothing else, then I believe we're down to delegations, and I'm going to ask Donna Mann, that is here this evening to talk about the Presbyterian Cemetery in Bentic. And Donna, I'll turn it over to you. There's a button on that microphone there, the right-hand button. It'll turn on. You've got it on.
Thank you.
So Donna, I'm going to turn it over to you, and thank you for coming forward. The floor is yours.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Deputy Mayor, members of council, interested persons. My name is Donna Mann, as you've already indicated, and although I lived in Grey County for 20 plus years, I now live in Elora. So I have traveled up through some nasty weather to be with you. And I thank you very much for making time on your agenda for the query that I bring to you tonight. My reason for coming is to seek direction and perhaps be referred to other bodies who might share my interest. My query tonight is multifaceted, involving several groups regarding the West Bentic Presbyterian Cemetery and the Green Road that runs by it. You are one of 4 groups that I have been corresponding with. The township office group, as you are, and the local Presbyterian presbytery, to which I have addressed, the Ontario Cemetery Board, and some family members and interested people of the West Bentic Cemetery. I have had a long-standing interest in pioneer cemeteries. Being clergy, I have officiated at memorial services and cemetery services, remembrance services, and different stages of a cemetery's life. And as a historian and genealogist, I have gained insight in many ways how to honor these grounds. I first visited West Bentic Presbyterian Cemetery in 1992. And I understand all the active folklore that goes on about the cemetery. But I've watched over more than 20 years how different people have attempted to preserve and care for this cemetery with a sense of dignity. I have letters back as far as 1992, 20 years plus, written to the then Township of Bentic Office, Council, and newspapers, and to individuals. So I've been keeping a close interest and contact with the development of interest around this cemetery. Now, there's a brave attempt to plan a cemetery service in the summer of 2014 at the West Bentic Cemetery grounds. It is for this that I seek some guidance and some cooperation and maybe information. And just some of the groundwork that is behind this is there has been some correspondence between some family members and Chesley Memorials that have already begun to talk about this in replacing some stones and in working in the cemetery. And of course the question is always rises if it's wise with the ongoing vandalism that is here and there, and not totally ongoing, but it's unpredictable. And secondly, how to direct people to the cemetery event as a cemetery event, and whether the south end of the Green Road can be made a little bit more presentable. So in closing, I do not have a proposal for you of any kind. This is strictly information, and I'm sharing with you some of the passion that I personally have that have brought me to this point, to this podium. But in closing, my husband Doug and I lived beside the Green Road across from the Elora Gorge Park for a lot of years. You may know that road that comes out of the park and then goes up over the hill and into the farmland. And we had acreage there, and much to the relief of some people, we also had a tractor. And it was a favorite lover's lane, and on more than one occasion, Doug had opportunity to pull the cars out from being stuck in the mud and in the snow and racing back there, in with the rail fences and so forth. Because these places do initiate a place to party. This road, it was a place to hide objects from the law. It was a trail, a good trail for farmers to use to get from field to field. It was a fascinating place of interest for the environmentally wise persons. And it was a good trail for the sports-minded people that just wanted a nice straight line without a lot of traffic. So a green road is a good thing. And perhaps the challenge is for the green road and the cemetery to be good neighbors, and how to care for each one. So that is my presentation, folks, and I would be glad to address any questions that you might have. I do thank you for this time to come and share with you these things.
Well, thank you very much, Donna. Interesting on these heritage times, because I believe in the city of Owen Sound tonight, they're having their accolades on their heritage fixtures and whatnot. I don't know whether this falls into something that they're doing up there, but I would ask, is there any council members that have any questions of Donna on that? I think the cemetery that you're speaking of, if I can be colloquial, is recognized as the Mary Rutherford Cemetery. What I can offer you, and I see Ken and he's got his eyebrows, oh my gosh, what's the mayor going to come up with here, but to discuss the ongoing dialogue on,
yes,
on the road and what you're going to do there in 2014. Thankfully through the summer, and I know Councillor Thompson, and one of his past duties was,
All right.
in his employment, was certainly to look after the police cruisers, the fleet and whatnot. We've had some problems up there, even with police cars on that road, but look forward to working with you. What I can say is
Thank you.
we will certainly look forward to working with you and the project that you're trying to put forward for 2014.
All right, and I would be glad to come back at a later time if invited, or if you wish to know further what the plans are. They're very vague at this point, and there's a lot of hesitation right now as to how much money to put into the cemetery when everything remains the same around it. That seems to be the question. So I don't ask you to solve that question, but that is a bit of a dilemma, so we're working on that.
Well, certainly we have committee of the whole, and I think that would be a point where we can work forward, or look forward to some of the work together on
All right.
having this. And yes, 1992, and I did hear there's been some discussion back and forth on this.
Yes, I have a
Marcus-
binder full of information if anyone ever wanted to do the paper trail on
Yeah.
that.
And Mark said he started working with the municipality of Bentic in '93, so he keeps telling me he's been working here a long time, so that tells us that this is an issue that's been going on, so look
Thank
forward to
you.
the community taking participation in this, and
Thank you.
we'll work with you.
May I be excused then from your council?
This is a public meeting, and it's not as much about an excuse to be excused as it is you can stay for as long as you want or move along. Well, I will say that that is the reason that Councillor Eccles is his job outside of council as a truck driver, and I just got a text here that that has kept him a little delayed tonight with some of the weather, so I understand your hesitancy to stay. Very good. Thank you very much, Donna. Okay. We have another delegation this evening, and Mark Dupuis, I believe, is with us. So, Mark, you want to make a proposal on rooftop solar projects, and I'll turn the podium over to you, Mark. So, thank you for coming back and give us what you've come forward to on solar top.
I'd just like to say thank you for giving me the time tonight. I'm here representing two local businesses in the area that are looking to take part in the next round of FIT applications. I believe council is somewhat familiar with a little bit of the feed-in tariff program, but I can give you a quick 30-second visit on basically what it is. In 2009, the Ontario government came up with the feed-in tariff program. Originally, the program was set up pretty well anybody could take part, and a lot of people did. One thing that I feel that they kind of neglected was they didn't give the local communities, the local municipalities, any say, for that matter. They didn't give a fair shot to everybody to be able to voice their opinions on the economic development in their municipalities. So a big part of what they're trying to do to react and listen to what people are saying is that in order for a project to go ahead now, it's mandatory that the project come before council. We seek your approval. Basically, what this approval means is that West Grey, as a municipality, is in support of green energy, and more specifically in support of solar rooftop is what I'm here tonight about. So it is specifically geared towards solar. Wind is a little more controversial. But my purpose here tonight is to ask just strictly for rooftop solar. The two projects in question, Interforest has approached me to come and represent them here. They're looking to basically pay for the tax bill at that place, as it sits relatively empty with a very large usable roof. So we're looking at putting a 500 kilowatt project on the Interforce building. And the second project that I'm proposing is Cedar Well Excavating. Yorgi is looking to build a new project there, just right in the gravel pit at the main office there. So I don't have a whole lot as far as presentation. I do have just some site maps that I can float around. Mark, did you get? You have all that? Okay, so that, as far as York's building there, it's a proposed building. The OPA has released a pilot program where we can construct a new building designed for solar. So we can basically design that building properly, put the solar on it, and go from there. So that's what Jorg would like to do, expand his business a little bit, work well for his equipment storage. He's got lots of different uses for a building. He could fill it quick. So that's Jorg's building. And then the Interforce here is just simple. They just would like to try to get some sort of income out of that property. So it's a large roof. So we're putting as large a system on there as we can possibly put on. So other than that, is there any questions or hesitations? Basically tonight is just all about just giving your support, saying that you are in support of that, so that these guys can go ahead and put an application in. So we're just at the application process. Moving forward, if we do get a contract, I do have to come back and apply for building permits and all that. So today doesn't necessarily mean that this is 100% go. It just says, in theory, you're in general support of rooftop solar. Once we get the contracts, I'm back to see Brian in the building department and go through all that. So if we don't meet, the setbacks on the building, all that stuff, the site plan was pretty generic there today that I gave forth, but we can. So basically today is just a general support.
Any questions or comments on this project for the two? I think we have, we've had the applications in front of us, and we've seen a few of these come across, and council has been supportive on these. They're not a microfit, but small individual groups or projects that are going forward. So if there's no questions, I'm going to ask that Mark, you've sent out the two applications, and we have them here in front of us. Yep. This is something that we're familiar with. We've had this request on a couple of other private companies coming forward to fit into this green energy. So I have the first one I have here is a move by Rob Thompson and seconded by John A. Bell. To be a whereas capital terms, not whereas an applicant 2387280 Ontario Inc. Proposes to construct and operate a rooftop solar photovoltaic system. I hope I've got that pronunciation close to being right.
Very close, yeah.
Thank you, Mark. On Grey Road 4 in the municipality of West Grey under the province's FIT program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Grey supports the construction and operation of project on the lands, and this resolution is the sole purpose to enable the applicant to receive priority points under the FIT program and may not be used for purposes of any other form of the municipal approval in relation to the application or the project or any other purpose. Yep, and okay. How does council want to act on this? Any questions on that motion? Call the question then. All those in favor? Any opposed? That is carried. And that one was, yes, for the property out here, better known as the Interforest property. And the second one, I have a motion moved by Dave Mollison and seconded by Carol Lawrence, whereas Cedarwell Excavating Limited proposes to construct and operate a rooftop solar photovoltaic system on 341384 Concession 2 north of Durham Road in the Municipality of West Grey under the province's FIT program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Grey supports the construction and operation of the project on the lands, and this resolution's sole purpose is to enable the applicant to receive priority points under the FIT program and may not be used for the purpose of any other form of municipal approval in relation to the application or the project or any other purpose. Very similar. Okay. Any questions on this, the second application from Cedarwell? Seeing no questions on that motion, all those in favor? Any opposed? Declare that carried as well too. So Mark, been pretty successful for you tonight.
Yeah, worth the trip.
On being able to go forward with the application. And that's just all that it is for any of those that are out there watching us on our Eastlink connection. All of this is just to put forward for the application and the municipality's support of that going forward. So thank you very much for coming forward and helping out two of our local businesses going forward with green energy. So thank you very much, Mark.
Great, thanks a lot, Council.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And the next one we have Grace Mcleod is here tonight. Grace wants to talk about something wild and crazy. No, what it really is a proposal for a festival coming forward and giving us some information on that. So Grace, the floor is yours, the podium's yours to talk about a Frazil Fest.
Thank you, Your Honor, and council members for giving me the opportunity to come forward. The Chamber has been looking for something that we could take part in and become part of. And along with the BIA and the Lions Club, hopefully you folks, I think we've found it. I'm told by a lot of other people that you folks used to have a snow festival in February. It evidently stopped because you didn't have snow. We've put together a proposal for one called Frazil Fest. Long weekend in February. We've put some different things into it. Like ice carving and a store decoration contest, which the Chamber does in other areas. Wagon rides, hayride type thing. And kids building snowmen somewhere between January the 1st and February the 10th. They take a picture of the snowman. Mom and Dad sign the back and date it, when it was built, and the kids submit it. That's in case we don't have snow. CYA. Anyway, the next thing, the first four are kind of a basics. 5 and 6 kind of tie together. I don't know. Some of the things that's come forward is from my past, like bonfires and music and hot chocolate, and then from one of your fellows here, we had a shirt-tail parade to line the way down to the bonfire site. Sounded like a good thing. Then we needed to put some seniors in there, so we got, hopefully, some nursing homes knitting some blue scarves for the snowmen. And depending on snow availability, some snowshoe races, snowball, or snow sculpture contests. The color of the is blue and red. The mascot would be a snowman. And the area would be Garifraxa Street north and south, and the downtown parking lots. We're trying to incorporate the BIA area with the stores staying open to have a festival. We're open to suggestions because we want it to be a success. So we've had meetings with the Chamber, the BIA, and Ron McIntyre from the Lions Club has sat in on some of those meetings. We're looking for some coverage for some insurance that may or may not be possible. A lot of this needs insurance coverage. If it could be deemed a community function of some sort, could it be covered by municipal insurance policy?
That's a question?
Yeah.
Carrie's our insurance person on that, and I think we have had some discussions. I'm going to refer to Carrie to, we have a number of ball tournaments and whatnot that are classified as a community event. So Carrie, I won't go any
if it's
further.
a committee of council, or if the members are named as a committee of council, then it kind of becomes a municipal event. Our recreation fundraising groups, the committees do that. We are in the process of going out to tender for insurance, so I'm not sure exactly, depending who our carrier may be, what their policies or procedures may be, but it may be something, but likely it will have to have some kind of tie-in with the municipality in order to extend our coverage. We'd have to take it on as a committee of council, probably.
And it has worked in the past with these types of things, and it's one of our strategic commitments is to have these type of community festivals and community events to have participation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're looking at the weekend around the Family Day weekend.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yeah, very good. Any other comments from council? Rob? Yeah. Go ahead.
I had some conversation with Councillor Eccles in regards to this. Family Day, the Monday, normally is our Play Bruce Gray program. We hold skating at the arenas and different functions in Newstead and Ayton arenas. I have asked him if I could attend one of your meetings whenever you get close to a schedule, noting that there's a couple items on this that would work within our program. It's all about, it's through the health unit in Owen Sound, the Grey Bruce area, to get people active, and this is being part of the snowshoe races, snowball. And they record hours and how many participants, and then the last 2 years West Grey has won first prize, being a trophy over there that we've managed to bring home 2 years in a row, and we, through participation and so on. I was just wondering, obviously you don't have a schedule of events at this point when you're going to have everything happening. I wonder when you get close to that if I could possibly attend one of your meetings and lay out some, what we do is through our program from the health unit.
Okay.
If that's possible.
Oh, sure.
Normally, what has to happen with our program, just so you know, the things have to occur on that Monday of the holiday or the Family Day.
On the Monday itself.
Yes.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if that's possible somewhere down the road. If
Yes.
I could get an invitation to attend one of the meetings and.
To both questions, yes.
Okay, thank you.
The 26th, sure. Our meeting's on the 26th. Would you like to attend on the 26th of this month to a chamber meeting? Perfect. Varney Inn, 7, 6? We begin at 6 at the Varney Inn. So it's a dinner meeting. So if you want to come with your appetite and lots of ideas. And certainly. It's a preliminary thing at this point. We have not worked on our budget totally. The ice carvers were bringing, or proposed to bring, are wood carvers, and they have carved ice. They're not the fancy ones from Toronto that other chefs that cost 10 grand before you get them out the door. So they're a good bunch of fellas that look to have some fun while they're doing it. So I think between the BIA and the chamber, we can cover quite a bit of it. We might need some help from the municipality on the setting up of fences that might be necessary for safety reasons, that sort of thing through your Public Works Department, correct. We would need some lighting for the evening for the ice carvers. It's nice to watch them carve. There'll be a lot of people watching.
I don't know whether
What do you want?
our fire chief, he always likes to get out those lights that he has. Be a good exercise for him. We could fit it into the fire training. At that point, see, Councillor Mollison is thinking that would be a good idea with his fire background. I think what I can, unless there's any other questions from council at this point, Grace, that I can commit council to work with, the municipality to work with you.
Okay.
We'll try and figure out as closely as possible on, being a committee of council. I see you've kind of proposed one committee of council member already on here. I don't know whether he even knew that when the list came out, but he's voluntarily got himself on there already. But nice for us to come forward, and I think we can commit, as I said, it'd be a good thing strategically. Where we've gone for is trying to get some of these together. I can't commit because we're just in our budget process, and I did like the idea that you're not asking us for money, you're just asking for maybe some support, and your organizations are going to cover off the monetary part.
I did have one of your people, Patsy Bovingdon, that does some work.
She volunteers.
And she's volunteered with us too to do some work on the. She says, evidently that's what she does for the city, for the municipalities.
Not quite a city yet, but we're working towards that.
I'm used to dealing with the city in Alberta.
That's better than the city, one of the major cities here in this province. I don't know whether you want to deal with them right at the present moment. Your ice may crack if you have to deal with him.
Yeah, from seeing their handling of our wind energy, it would be scary. Did you want to tell them about the ice carvers? Kathy's.
Hi, I'm Kathy Cameron. I'm Secretary of the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for having me. I just wanted to give you a little bit of details on the ice carvers. Steve Kenzora, who will be organizing the carvers, is actually an award-winning wood carver. He works for Carve a Chunk Out of Cancer for Children's Cancer Charity. He's carved all over the world, and he's quite well known, and he's kind of the mentor of many of the new carvers. He's going to be bringing some of them from Barrie. Steve himself is from the Peterborough area. Their fee will include the ice. They're going to bring the ice. All that we sort of need from the Works Department is possibly a safety fence to go around the area to keep any enthusiastic children out of the way. They'll probably carve during the day, and the lights we're asking for is more to showcase the carvings at night so people can stroll. And we're hoping to have it along the river right beside the credit union there so that it'll kind of keep traffic in the downtown area and not segregate it to the arena, although we're hoping to have maybe bonfire and dance in that area. And I think it'll be a really great annual event if we can do it, and they're very reasonable as far as their fee goes, so budget-wise, I think we're going to do well. Of course, I'm putting my house up for their accommodation and feeding them, so that kind of helps out with the budget, too. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Kathy. I was also thinking of the snow sculpture, if we could do it across from the hardware store. And there's quite an empty spot there that belongs to the landscaping company. And I think maybe some down in that corner. I'm going to go talk to him, see if we can get that area for snow sculptures. So, spread it out.
I'm not going to tell the landscaping business what they can do or what they can put on
Oh,
their
no.
land.
Oh, no.
Let you convince
I'll do
them.
that.
I'll let you convince them, Grace.
But I think it would be an excellent showcase for something like that if they would allow it. We'll see.
Okay.
Any other questions? I tried to
one.
present it.
Got one down here. Councillor Marshall. Don?
Yeah, I just like to thank you, Grace, for taking this on. It's you're leading this, and you single-handedly right now. So I really thank you. And I think this could be a festival that could. I hope we do have a bit of snow for that, and it seems to be a low budget, like not a low budget, low cost thing. A lot of these activities are going to be low cost to the participants, making a snow sculpture on their front lawn or a snowman. So the bonfire with the arena, the shirt tail parade. So it could be something that the whole town could and should really put on their list. Something to do in February.
Something that could be maintained in years to come without a large budget. I hope. Thank you all for your time and your patience.
Thank you very much, Grace, for coming forward with something like this. And I guess the biggest thing that I can say is we're committed that, we'll try and work with you where we can.
Okay.
And it seems the council's supportive of the idea of coming up with this type of a festival. We have a number in the summertime throughout, whether it's fall festivals, the Colleen Lantz, one that comes to mind is the Colleen Lantz Memorial Run in Newstead, and a couple of other functions like that. So something of this would really put us going forward. You got our commitment to work with us.
It was Len at the store in Neustadt on the corner.
That little convenience store. We won't give too much advertising to grannies here, will we? I guess we did.
He came up with the name, so.
Very good.
Thank you for your patience.
Okay, well, thank you for bringing it forward to us, and and we'll plan to go forward with it. So thank you very much. Okay. Now, before we go into staff reports, does council want to take just a quick little break? Well, the mayor does, so we're going to do that. Thank you very much. Brings us down to Carrie's report, Director of Finance. And I think, Carrie, the first piece on yours is the voucher report. If I can bring it up here. Just ask if there are any comments on the vouchers as presented. Seeing none. Got the motion coming forward then to approve the voucher listing. Rob, thank you. Okay, so I have a motion moved by Don B. Marshall and seconded by John A. Bell. Be it resolved that the Director of Finance Treasurer be authorized to pay the accounts presented as voucher number 21, 2013 of the Municipality of West Grey in the amount of $360,523.87. Any further questions or comments on this motion? Call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Okay. Second one, Carrie, is Source Protection Municipal Implementation Fund, SMRF. I don't know just what the acronym is being called there, but it's one something like that. And this is just to pass the bylaws. It's on the books with Carrie here. Is there any questions on that source protection funding that's coming forward? Yeah. We will be discussing it further when it comes to Committee of the Whole. Question should be why it's so little, but Don, knew I'd get a reaction.
Yeah, if we turn down the offer, can we opt out of the program?
No.
We should have opted out of the program 5 years ago when they brought this up first.
It would have been nice to opt out of it, but our provincial father has laid the hand on us that we shall do it. I'm still hopeful and seeing we have the advantage, I guess, of saying it that way. We have one staff member that is very familiar with the design of this project, the way it was done out. And hopefully with some of his direction we can get through this with as little economic hurt as possible. Okay. The other funding part that's in there is the 15,000 that is a maximum of 15,000. We can have 5, 10, or up to 15 if we can partner. Have talked to a couple of municipalities, politically speaking, not from a staff perspective, that would be interested in it, but maybe going forward we can see whether we can get that to maximize some of the funding there as well too, Carrie. Possible? Okay. You got a question on it?
I was just going to say, we
comment.
have about a year to submit the collaborative. It would be due December 14th of 2014. It gives us time to try to build relationships if we're going to get attempt to get any collaborative funding.
And I'm just wondering in that, because I haven't figured it out, Southgate would be a natural partner for us, but they're not. None of their water sources are in the conservation, in our conservation. And Grey Highlands, they're in about a couple of other ones over there, from what I understand. And then, do they fit in or not?
I think as long as they're identified in a source protection area, doesn't necessarily have to be the Grey Sauble, Nautilus, they can be in the Grand River or Nottawasaga, or it can, as long as they're identified in a source protection area, it doesn't limit us from combining with them. It's just another reporting body that it would go to. Our information would go upload to our source protection area, and it would go to another.
Okay, there's no further questions on that. We'll entertain the bylaw coming forward then, of accepting the money, and then we'll try and figure out how to spend it. interesting. Of course, it's like every other provincial, you've got to spend it and everything before they give it to you as well, too, but in this case, it may not be enough, but it's a start for us anyways, going forward with this project. The next one you're seeking council direction on, Carrie, is dealing with a request for ice time. Anything other than what's in the request right there? It's pretty straightforward. Looking for donation to play the radio station on West Grey Minor Hockey for a fundraising event on for the food bank, who we support fairly largely as it is. Any other comments on this one? How does council want to deal with it? Carrie's looking on what type of a letter she prepares to send back to Mr. Hutchison, the president. Bev? Do I use your mic? Sorry.
You know, thank you for your support of the local food bank. We do generously donate to it through the West Grey budget, and our policy is that we do not give the arena out for any specific charity organizations for free. It's always been the policy here, so it has to continue, or we change it and give it to all charity organizations, because you can't pick and choose. So.
Pretty good description of the policy as we've exercised it for the last number of years. Any other thoughts? If not, is that clear enough, Carrie? Everybody's in agreement? That's the way it should be. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. Carrie's got her direction on that one. Now, I think that there is certainly an open invitation for everybody to go and enjoy the evening and supply some food on the 14th of December. And I, through the letter, I see that the deputy mayor is going to be a guest coach at one of the teams that night. Don't know whether he's going to put on his good Don Cherry face or not, but we'll see what he does.
Has a jacket though.
No.
That's the point.
And no nerve to wear it either.
I could get you one.
Oh, I imagine there's a few for sale out there at Goodwill. The request from the Mayor's Youth Committee. Got a request from the John Diefenbaker Student Council. Carrie's put in how much is in that account that they've raised. Got a number in this afternoon. The committee has met. They're looking for $300 to bring the speaker in. And I don't know whether that involves some of the transportation for students from other schools and whatnot, but they are looking for $300, and it's every one of the members that's the youth that are on there have supported and are looking for that. So, and sitting on that committee and talking to the two other committee members, they're both in agreement that it would be money well invested into the community, and was kind of the idea of this organization raising some money to bring individuals into the for the youth to be mentored and understand some advice going forward. So, any questions on that? Bev?
So are to give them the 300 that they're asking for? Is that what you're saying, as opposed to, that's just a listing as to how much is there? Does Grey Highlands know that we have something like this, that they could apply if they were doing some sort of event, that they could apply for this as well? I know these kids know because they probably go to JDSS.
Well, if I might, Bev, these kids that raised this money were in charge in the youth committee putting on the events that they raised the money from. So technically, I guess it is the Mayor's Youth Committee. They're in charge of the money. They've always been looking for a project to support, and they came up with this idea. I think it's a very good one. And I think that they'll probably use the other 600 for something going forward when they decide to, but I don't think any kids from Grey Highlands were on the committee, I guess, or did help with any of the events that
No, they wouldn't be
took place.
because kids from Durham would go to
Yeah.
JDSS, which is unfortunate because there's many, many students in West Grey that go to Grey Highlands.
Yeah.
I've just, okay.
And further to that, if there was a project that this committee, the individuals that are in the committee felt that was going on in Grey Highlands, would accept an application for it. I couldn't see. Yep. Yeah. Anyways, we do have a resolution for that support there. I have a motion moved by David Mollison and seconded by Carol Lawrence. Be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Grey hereby approves a donation of $300 to the JDSS Student Council Guest Speaker event with the funds to be transferred from the Mayor's Youth Committee Reserve. Any questions or comments on the motion? Call the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Okay. The other one, Carrie, is the last one is information as the councillor enumeration is there for an update. Any questions of our treasurer at this point in time before she runs off to the curling club? No, not tonight. Sorry that we couldn't accommodate your schedule. And we're glad that you accommodated ours. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Carrie. And as that moves us down, Ken, your report. I've got it coming here. And there I went right by it. So Ken, the one thing you have on your report tonight is an application for some industrial entrance applications.
Yes, Nextera has submitted 7 applications for driveway permits for their proposed wind turbine sites. It's my understanding this time that there have been no approvals granted for construction of wind turbines, and we have held off in the past for approving entrance permits until everything has been verified as to the use of what's going to happen within the lands that they are entered upon. So, but it is under the council's authority to approve industrial driveway applications in our bylaws.
And yes, I believe that there's a process that must be gone through before we don't have the planning approvals on that. It's MOE and that. We haven't seen any approvals for this type of project on the land, so it certainly, I concur with your assessment on that. It'd certainly be very much ahead of time to approve something that's premature that isn't already approved for placement. So I think we have a motion put up here, and we'll see how. Any other questions for Ken while we've got the motion being entertained? And as always, we'll put a motion forward in the positive response, and then it can either be supported or defeated. Excuse me, I have a motion moved by Don B. Marshall and seconded by Rob Thompson. Be it resolved that the Council of the Municipality of West Garry hereby approves the following commercial entrance permits. East Durham Wind, Inc., applicant James and Beatrix Black, owners PIN 3723-8200, lot 25, concession 4, NDR 364612, concession 4, former Township of Ganaug. East Durham Wind, number 2, East Durham Wind, applicant Bradley Watson, owner PIN 3722-9144, lot 20, concession 1, SDR 403854, the Glen Road, former Township of Ganaug. East Durham Wind, Inc., applicant Alfred Saunders, owner PIN 3722-9171, lots 21 23, concession 2, NDR, former Township of Ganaug, turbine 1. East Durham Wind, applicant Alfred Saunders, owner PIN 2322-9171, lots 21 and 23, concession 2, NDR, former Township of Ganaug, Met Tower. Number 5, East Durham Wind, applicant Patrick McMillan, owner PIN 3722-9188, lot 30, concession 2, NDR 553668, Ganaug Road, former Township of Ganaug. Number 6, East Durham Wind, applicant Kenneth and Carolyn Leith, owners, PIN 3723-90074, lot 31, concession 1, NDR 404269, Gray Road, number 4, former Township of Ganaug. And number 7, East Durham Wind, Inc., applicant Daniel and Beverly Cudney, owners, PIN 3723-9100, lots 48 and 49, concession 2, SDR 304599, South Line, former Township of Ganaug. And our Public Works Manager is recommending to not approve this until the project has been approved from MOE. I don't think so. Do we need any other further questions? I'll call the question then. All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion is defeated. Applications are turned down at this point in time. Okay, Mark? And we will send a letter out to the applicant explaining the reasons and as a follow-up, as always. Okay? Anything else, Ken?
That's all I have at this time.
Very good. Any questions of Ken? Are we getting ahead on any of those potholes that's created by vast weather problems out there? The moisture's just killing us at this point in time, Ken.
Yes, the moisture is definitely killing us. It's like to grade them one day, then it rains the next, you're almost losing ground, so we need a few dry days in a row. I guess there's some farmers out there looking for a few dry days in a row too, for their corn and beans to get harvested, but yeah, it's just takes so long to dry out now, and it's a tough time of year.
Absolutely. It's either dry up or freeze up. I'm not sure which. The freeze up doesn't look like we're going to get either one here coming shortly. So certainly a battle, but I've got some very good guys out there to mitigate it as much as possible. So certainly appreciate that. Okay. And Councillor Mollison, you can be excused. No, understand fully. Thanks for coming out, Dave. Okay, we're down to, if that's it, no other questions for Ken, then we're down to bylaws. We have a number of them on the agenda tonight, starting with bylaw number 83. And I believe that this bylaw, this one comes as a recommendation from the Planning Committee for approval. I have a motion moved by David Mollison and seconded by Bev Cutting. Be it resolved that bylaw number 83, 2013, being a bylaw to rezone lands described as Plan 70, Part Lots 7 and 8, WGR Dornoch, former Township of Benwick, Municipality of West Grade, Dornoch Hall, be now read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered, and that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the CEO, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book. Any questions or comments on this motion? All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Okay, Mark. Bylaw number 84 is also recommended for passing from the Planning Committee. I have a motion moved by Rob Thompson and seconded by John A. Bell. Be it resolved that bylaw number 84, 2013, being a bylaw to rezone Part Lot 30, Concession 3, SDR, former Township of Benwick, Ortea Francis, be now read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered, and the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the CEO, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book. Is there any questions or comments on this motion? Seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. The next one, 85, was the bylaw to enter into the funding from the Source Protection Municipal Implementation Fund from the Ministry of Environment. Okay. I have a motion moved by Rob Thompson, seconded by John A. Bell. Be it resolved that bylaw number 85, 2013, being a bylaw to enter into a Source Protection Municipal Implementation Fund grant funding agreement between the Municipality of West Grey and the Ministry of Environment, be now read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered, and that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and the CEO, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book. Any questions or comments on this motion? Donna, Councillor Marshall.
Well, I guess that's just the start of the financial slide of this program. There's no idea where it'll end. It's like probably like the gun registry smozzle that the feds had. They're going to throw us $100,000, maybe $115,000, and is proposing that the budget for Saugeen Valley was $270-some thousand to do the plans.
Go ahead, Mark, and tell me.
Actually, I kind of thought I was wrong on those figures. It's about 273 risk management plans, but it's actually about 430,000 estimated over a 3 or 4 year implementation period.
Well, that's better.
That's great.
That's better.
Does that give you more ammunition for your argument?
It does. So we got 273 plans out there. If they're going to go with the deed of these properties versus just going into a filing cabinet, so if this farm is sold or the house is sold, they're going to have to redo their plans. This only protects the water of the urban residents. They're not concerned with the private wells out there for the rural residents. This program will eventually spill over to the rural residents because they're going to want to protect us all. And that'll be a plan for every resident. There's just not enough money in the program to keep doing this stuff. The concept's good, protecting our water, but I don't know how they could have done it differently, but it's gonna be a lot of money. And are we gonna have safer water? Nope. It's just a bunch of inspectors pushing paper around.
Go ahead, Mark.
And it is rather alarming. We're seeing that trend, obviously, with whether it be accessibility coming down the road, all great ideas, public sector accounting, asset management, the electrical plan now we have to account for, all great ideas, but for the province to mandate it and not to provide funding, I don't think is appropriate. And really the municipalities, I think on their own, the ratepayers will let them know, obviously vote or let their concerns be known, and the municipalities, have enough expertise to deal with that on their own without being mandated. And then, of course, not only from the municipal level that you're seeing the increased burden on taxpayers that's going to result, it also creates another level of bureaucracy at the province. They're going to have people bureaucrats overlooking what the plans are and just making sure they're sufficient. And as you mentioned in source protection, it's not only the outright cost financially, but it's the liability, which will also cost if something goes wrong. The downloading of that to the municipality, which is as much concerning as the actual cost.
Any other questions or comments on this? Call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? I understand fully where you're coming from, Don.
I guess if I could just comment, we should have voted it down and maybe started a little spark of fire going back up the chain and went to the 444 other municipalities that are involved in this and said, what do you think about this? Are you prepared to spend millions and millions of dollars? Or do we all, if all 444 municipalities says, no, we don't want your $100,000, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna cut off our funding. Well, whoop-de-doo.
And that's where, in the bylaw itself, that's one of the things that they said, that our funding that we get from the province, that is shrinking at the present moment. If we don't comply with this, they would claw the money back themselves. If we didn't pay it back that we'd got and hadn't been used properly in that bylaw, well, they'll just claw it back out of our own funding. Let us wither on the vine, I guess. I'm not sure just where.
That's why we got to get 444 supporters behind us, and they can't let us all wither on the vine. That should be a job for AMO. You're right, John. AMO should be working for the municipalities, and I see them working for the provincial government, telling the municipalities what's happening. They're a chain of information coming downhill, and we should be pushing it back up the hill.
Okay. That old saying, so pushing a rope uphill doesn't get very easy. Okay.
And we can kick it.
Yeah, we can kick it up. Yeah, we can Frazil it up all the way, all of February. Okay. That should be it for bylaws, Mark. And what have we got left on our agenda? Is there any new business? I heard somebody coming in, and we were expecting guests. Mark, do you want to go and see if our guests are here to... And we can... We did pass a resolution to have some council members come from our western boundary. We're just about finished our council meeting as well too, so until the signatory comes in, I guess we'll continue on, and welcome to councillors from Hanover to join a meeting and understand how a council meeting's supposed to be run. Is that what we're here for tonight?
So much for that charter.
Let's get back. Any new business? Seeing none. Addendums? Notice of motion or direct motions? Mark? Have none? I don't believe we have any closed session items. Matters before. Question period. Anybody have any questions on anything that was on the agenda this evening? Press have any questions as of yet? I'll get a microphone stuck in my face here shortly, but yep, but not right now. Okay. No questions? Any municipal act notices? Nothing? Now, technically, were we to sign this in the council meeting, Mark, or can we do it after the meeting's been adjourned? We'll do it during council, okay? Thank for that. I can't believe that her council left her abandoned out on a snowy night like that to fend for herself to get across. Very good. We'll wait for a few minutes until Kathy can join us, and I see her coming past the window right there. So Mark wants to do it in our council meeting as the resolution was passed tonight to sign it. So we'll wait for that to happen. Thank you, Sue. Well, they're open, we're open for anybody, anytime. I would ask Laura or Don, you guys are the photographers. If we're going to propose setting this up, I'm proposing at one of the two tables. You want to do it in that one? I figured that. Nope, we're still in, we're all done here, just except adjournment. We've asked for our neighbors to come over, and Mark wants to do it in council, so. Where do we want to set up then, Mark? Don't have one?
Oh, do you?
No. No? Okay. All right, our photographers, we passed, Westgrade passed a motion this evening, I take it being groundbreaking, to sign in a charter agreement with our neighboring municipality, and the two CEOs here are getting that prepared for us to sign those. And I'm going to ask, our idea is to do it at this table and with all three. Did we have three in this charter? No, we only had two. We can look to add more, but with the two municipal councils surrounding both mayors as we sign that. So we'll get up and get ourselves organized around the table to take that. I apologize for, I see pretty much all of Hanover councils here. I have one council member that is away on business. I have one council member that has got a medical problem, so he went home early this evening. And I've got another council member that is on the road someplace battling the snow from his job too. So that's why we only have the numbers here tonight.
So I just want to do one group shot with everybody smiling and then we can do action.
Okay.
Way to go, Kevin. You go blink again.
Didn't flash. That's it.
I feel like Paul McCartney.
Like Toronto Council in here.
Maybe we start throwing stuff.
No, that's where we start throwing stuff, not an idiot.
Where's Mr. Ford when you need him?
Not here.
It's okay, you walk on the other side.
Our next Prime Minister.
What? He's going to be the Prime Minister? Oh, that's Doug said that.
This is actually part of it.
Okay, lights, camera, action.
Actually, right. They're here.
Okay, watch the signing, not the camera.
Short of this.
Spell your name right.
Need a commissioner?
Shaking hands. Yeah. Let us out of the way.
One's looking at each other or
I won't give it.
each other.
I could look into your eyes.
What's up? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Especially if they're down there meeting.
Well, we do have.
Thanks, Bob.
We already have full council.
Yeah, we only make sure getting us some together.
Thanks, Patty. Well done. Nice to see you.
People have
West Grade Council is adjourned. Thank you, Adam.